Right, enough Liverpool. How about some quick hits instead?
Let's go, Gab.
Bayern win Der Klassiker, beating Borussia Dortmund 2-1. You Jules, 11 wins in 11 games in all competitions. Harry Kane is unplayable. And yet, without that boneheaded clearance from Joe Bellingham, this game finishes a draw.
No,
well, maybe because
Brandt's
came late. What do you mean, no?
No, Bayern were too good. Too good, I think, for Dortmund. Apart from the last 10 minutes, maybe, when it was a little bit tense because of that Brand goal to make it 2-1. But even if they don't score that second one, even at 1-0 up, I don't think Dortmund come back.
So, sorry. So you're saying that, like,
I don't think Dortmund were good enough to get a draw there anyway through the whole game. I think it was pretty obvious.
It was 1-0. If Bellingham doesn't make that mistake, then you're saying then what? Then Brandt doesn't score?
Yeah, how do you know that Brandt scores after anyway?
He does. He did.
So did Olise. You can't tell me if that doesn't happen, if the Olise goal doesn't happen, you sure that Brandt scores after?
Well, I'm pretty sure that if he doesn't leave Brandt, this is the other thing, is he comes out there. I thought Bayern in the first, Dortmund had 0 shots on goal.
Bayern
it was such a domination. So but then in the second half, they started playing.
Yeah, but as you know, we've seen this before, right?
From Bayern, this is when they risk beating themselves. That's what I would be. That's what I would worry
physically about. That they kind of can't keep it up, or they just take it a little bit for granted and just try to control the game instead of keeping attacking.
It's either this or maybe Dortmund are better than they thought we were. I'm just surprised that you only send on Brandt at the very end and he scores straight away. The Bellingham move, by the way, I don't understand. You know you've got your back. Clear it high. Don't clear it low and across your goal.
I spoke about it with Nader Manua, who was obviously at the game for ESPN. He said there's nothing else he can do, really.
Because I thought, this is stupid. This is a really, really bad mistake.
I disagree.
And I think this is people sticking up for each other.
I disagree.
A late Kylian Mbappe goal, and then even later, Thibaut Courtois save that nearly saw him injured, by the way.
Yeah.
Gave Real Madrid a 1-0 win away to Getafe, who end up with 9 men. Jules, they're back on top of the table, but this was rough.
Yeah, this was tough. And one, it was not a good watch at all, to be fair to us watching and trying to analyze it. I'm not sure what Xabi saw, but the first question after the game in his press conference and in his flash interviews was like, you're so dependent on Kylian Mbappe, which is true. That's 11 games in a row now for club and country where he's decisive. Without him, the way I saw it, and Rodrigo started with Mastantuono, nobody could dribble in that team. Vinicius came on, 0 dribble out of 4 attempted. It's only Mbappe making things happen in this team, and Güler then obviously came on and gave him that really good ball for the goal. But there's still so much for them, I think, to work on, because you can't just rely on one guy, because there'll be days where Mbappe won't score.
What I would say a little bit is Valverde deputizing at right back, where I think he's good, but he doesn't seem to want to play there.
Yeah.
We had Camavinga's first start of the season. We had Bellingham's second start of the season. Maybe there's some chemistry there, but they need to take it up. By the way, Alan Neum, this is like straight out of NHL ice hockey in the 1970s, where they send on the goon. Like, it felt like he was sent on simply to hurt Vini. And straight away he gets sent off. Yeah, that was pretty surreal.
Yeah. Paris born and bred, Ange-Johan Boni. Of course, I was going to mention you didn't put it in your quick hits. Okay. Scores the only goal as Inter Milan win away to Roma 1-0. Gab, where have all Christian Cuvée critics gone?
The CCCs?
Yeah.
I don't know. They're all silent. No, look, it's not easy. I think the criticism to some degree should still be there. Inter scored early. Roma had their chances. Yeah. I don't think the worst thing Inter can do is we got there. Gasperini made it difficult for them. Roma, I think a draw would have been a fair result.
Yeah.
But the big thing for Inter is between Boni and Pio Esposito. They have a B team of strikers that you can get excited for. And who knows, might be your long-term solutions too once Thuram and Lautaro are gone.
Milan beat Fiorentina 2-1 on Sunday and go top of Serie A. But Gab, I have sensed you're going to have a go at poor Santi Jimenez.
Yep, absolutely. Look, I'll get the takeaways out of the way first. Rafael Leao scored an absolute wonder goal, which was good. And then he scored the penalty, and Fiorentina, who had a 1-0 lead, fall 2-1, and Milan go top of the table. Now, a lot of mitigating circumstances for Max Allegri for the football that we see.
Injuries?
Yeah, no Rabiot, no Pulisic. He basically had 4 starters missing.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. But Santi Jimenez the Fiorentina defender Parisi. It looks like his hand maybe brushes his cheek. Santi Jimenez goes down, clutching his face. The referee, who sees it in real time, assesses the situation, says no foul. The guy at the VAR, whose name is Abisso, which literally means abyss, as in like the depths of the ocean, as in like the depths of stupidity, realizes, ooh, there must be a clear and obvious mistake, because poor Santi Jimenez is clutching his face, calls him over. The referee looks at it again a second time, says, well, if he called me over, it must have been a mistake. And they award the penalty. Leao scores. Fiorentina absolutely furious, as so they should be. I'm going to take my answer on Jimenez. Dude, you're cheating. Not the first time you've done this. Not the first time. If you can't have it both ways. You can't be Mr. Angelic, I talk to God, God talks to me, and at the same time behave like this. Right? This isn't cheating, winning a foul. This is just really unseemly. I wish Allegri would just shelf the guy and say, this is embarrassing to us. Especially shelf him when Pulisic is back, so you don't need him maybe. Ronaldo Araujo has to transform himself into an emergency center forward for Barcelona, off the bench, no less, to beat cellar-dwelling Girona 2-1. Jules, this was ugly. This was bad from Barca. And Hansi Flick also got himself suspended for the Clásico in a very stupid way.
Yeah, very stupid way. Got sent off and won't be there, as you're right, will be in the stands for the Clásico next weekend.
We have his assistant, the guy I don't like, the guy who looks like Jens Lehmann.
Yeah. Poor performance from Barca. Is it being back from the international break, or with the Champions League coming up, or the Clásico coming up? I don't know. They got lucky. It's a nice goal in the end. The way he's built, the cross by De Jong, and that number 9 finish by Araujo coming from nowhere. Really great run from him. Great finish in the 92nd or 91st minute or something. But yeah, you're right. It was not deserved really against the Girona team that is not a good team. No. Who's not doing well this season. So
one win worrying this season for Girona.
Yeah.
And I have to say, all right, so obviously I play the 17-year-old Tony up front. It's not good. I don't want to pick on the guy. The guy comes from the 4th division. Why? And like the issues run deeper than Flick, right? We can go about Flick, high line, whatever. Why are you sending him a team where Ferran Torres and Lewandowski is out, and he feels like it's the right thing to do to chuck the 17-year-old kid in there, who is not like 17-year-old? And look, people think he's the next Yamal. He's not. He's just he's just a dude,
he's
right?
Not good enough.
Also, at some point, chickens come home to roost. Kubasi and Garcia. Pau Kubasi not good in this. Certainly not good on the Girona goal. I think the worst thing you can do if you're Barcelona is not just blame everything on Flick. No.
Yeah, I don't think they do either. It's just, they just got away with it. They got away with it.
At the same time, Pedri, that goal.
Yeah.
Pedri special.
Como down Juventus 2-0. Gab, suddenly the knives are out for Igor Tudor. There's also a mini war of words with Cesc.
Yeah, okay. So Juventus had a bunch of absentees, but guess what? So did Como. Como had 4 wingers, and they were all out. Okay, so don't give me this. So this explains why Rugani was playing, which is not something you ever want to see if you're a Juve fan. He's a handsome guy, and he's a nice guy too. Igor Tudor, before the game, hey, look, let me go and wind up Cesc. He's like, well, the Como manager can go and buy whatever players he wants in the world, and they'll just get him for him. She doesn't mention Cesc by name. I'm like, dude, I know for a fact you know who Cesc is. I think that kind of annoyed Cesc. Cesc later fired back saying, well, he's under a lot of pressure. He needs to win all the time. We'll see how it works out. But Como wiped the floor with Juve. Nico Paz. Again, a goal, an assist. He's out of this world. It is true Como have spent a lot of money. But guess what? Cesc has also improved a lot of players who did not cost a lot of money. And again, this Jonathan David, Lependa, Vlahovic on for 13 minutes. Openda rooted to the bench when you're losing? Really? Kenan Yildiz playing so wide. A lot of this is on you, Igor. And now you got Real Madrid next. This was way, way back on Friday, but Paris Saint-Germain had to come from 2 goals down at home against Strasbourg to draw 3-3. Jules, are you still going to blame injuries in the Club World Cup?
Well, I mean, this was a C team again by Luis Enrique on the pitch, to be fair, against the...
Warren Zaire-Emery thanks you when you call him Mr. C team. The man's been capped for France.
Yeah, but he would not start if everybody was fit. That's as simple as that. And neither would be 80% of the team that played on Friday. But Strasbourg are a very good team. Liam Rosinho is doing an amazing job. They were 3-1 up with 25 minutes to go or something, then 3-2 up. PSG came back. Mayudu scored again, which is lovely to see. One of the games of the weekend, without that, wonderful kind of level. And this Strasbourg team is going to go far, really far. And for PSG, you limit the damage really by getting a draw because with all the players missing, there was not other and the Champions League coming up, obviously. I think Lucho was happy with what he saw in the end.
Do you think we can naturalize Strasbourg's center forward?
Panichelli for
Italy, yeah.
Oh, so, maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure the guy's got an Italian name.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'll have a look for you.
We've done well with naturalized Argentines.
Yeah, that's true. Atletico Madrid leave it late, but Giuliano Simeone sets up Thiago Almada's winner, and San Yeno Black does the rest against Osasuna, Gab.
It was a ridiculous save from Oblak at the very end. I don't think Atletico Madrid were bad. I don't blame Simeone for setting up the way he did. You give Coca the start. You try things out. In the end, this is why you have a deep team, so you can turn to your bench. Simeone, by the way, lovely move to set up Almada's tap-in.
Great weekend for the Simeone family. We mentioned Atletico already, have we? Or not? This is we didn't mention Atletico already.
Did.
Yeah, that's it. But Giovanni Simeone's goal gives Torino the win over Napoli on Saturday, and Antonio Conte says his team was too pretty, Gab. What does that mean?
All right, first of all, I want to just take a moment on Gio Simeone. Had a difficult time.
Yeah.
So homesick that when he left Naples, he made sure that they kept sending him the same coffee that they had at the training ground, FaceTiming the staff and whatever. The dude's not even from Naples. He just played there for a while and wasn't even that good when he was there.
No,
but
true.
Naples, I guess, gets in your heart. Go ask Rafa Benitez about that. As for Napoli, Conte says, my team was too pretty. We tried to play a little too much or whatever. I don't know why you're saying this. You tried to play too much. Meaning what? You passed and created shots and didn't score. The reason they lost this game, I thought, is simply a quality issue.
Yeah.
Billy Gilmore, not as good as Stanislav Lobotka.
Yeah.
McTominay being out means that you have to go with the two wingers to play with Luca, which is a good choice, but your wingers weren't good on this day. Maybe we should have seen Politano earlier. Luca had a nightmare. You couldn't get him the ball, and I think this generally explains it. All this said, it's telling about Conte that he always goes back to the same thing. Not aggressive enough, not ugly enough, work harder. I don't know if he's playing us or if he's being played when he says that.
Is it 9 goals in 9 games in Serie A this weekend? That was not talking about pretty.
It's not over yet. It's not over yet. Cremonese Udinese tonight. Yeah, exactly. Come on, man. We have new leaders in Ligue 1, Jules.
Yes.
And it's not Paris Saint-Germain.
No.
Mason Greenwood scores 4 goals, and Marseille beat Le Havre 6-2. I believe it's 4 teams within 2 points.
Yeah, that's right. Very exciting, top of the table in Ligue 1. Marseille did well. Le Havre down to 10 men after 30 minutes when the score was 1-1. So there was only going to be one winner.
Is that guy related to Hugo Lloris, or does he just...
Yeah, it's his brother. That's why it's a bad weekend, because if you saw Hugo Lloris' blunder with LAFC, big mistake, then his brother got sent off the day before. Not a good weekend for the Lloris. Good weekend, we said, for Simeone's family, not for the Lloris family. And Greenwood, outstanding. We would have scored some of those goals. Let's be clear here. There's one penalty. There's a couple of tap-ins, but there's one really good finish too. Right foot, left foot. He's so quick. He's so electric when he wants to be. Again, because it's the attitude. Sometimes he's a bit nonchalant on the pitch, but incredible talent that they have. And Marseille top of the table. They'll be very happy.
You have Strasbourg and Lens 2 points behind.
Lens, Lyon, who lost away at Nice, but really are in there. They were very unlucky to lose.
Lens, no European football. Marseille, no European football.
Marseille have Champions League.
Oh, that's right.
Sporting, yeah. And Lyon have the Europa League. So, it's Strasbourg have the Conference League. Right. So, it will be good. Even Nice got closer now. Monaco, we're waiting to see with a new manager. But, it's going to be a very interesting season.